I did a poll asking what you wanted me to talk about next, and most of you voted for Black Sun. So let's talk about it. Kezza, Henshin. Kamen Rider Black Sun, written by Izumi Takahashi, directed by Kazuya Shirishi, and produced by Toei, is premiering on Amazon Prime Video on October 28th. It is an upcoming 10-episode web drama / series, as well as the 50th anniversary of the Kamen Rider series, the 35th anniversary of its original show, Kamen Rider Black, and a reboot made for a mature audience, so this is not for the kids. Shield your eyes. But with the show coming out soon, as well as a new trailer, I thought we could discuss the original show, as well as talk about this trailer and this show's plot. It's definitely a bit more on the heavier topics, so please be warned. Anyway, let's get into it. The original show starts like any other Kamen Rider of its time, the protagonist being kidnapped by a cult or terrorist organization. However, this time it's stepbrothers Kotaro Minami and Nobuhiko Akizuki, because they were born on the day of a solar eclipse. The amount of characters born under a full moon or a solar eclipse is worrying. Wait, what about when I was born? Oh, never mind. And they were taken by the cult Gorgon. Just why do they look so like a sudden group of misguided people we all know and hate? And like many other shows of the time, the victims are taken to be made into cyborgs, and with the help of a family friend or someone they used to know, our main character Kotaro escapes with his foster dad before the final brainwashing. But unfortunately for our protagonist, his brother is not so lucky, and his father also dies later on. A real double dose of that Spider-Man origin story. Yikes. The two brothers are now destined to fight to become the next Creation King. With revenge burning in his heart, Kotaro fights against Gorgon and eventually his brother, who has now become Kamen Rider Shadow Moon. I won't get too much into the finite details of the series if you want to watch the show yourself, but for now, let's move on to talking about the reboot. This time, the more adult-aimed Kamen Rider Black reboot is set in 2022, years after the government declared the coexistence between humans and kaijin, who are oppressed bug people, I guess, living disguised as and hated by the humans. Great, a deep segregation story to start us off. Great way to discuss this topic, I guess, as it needs to be understood and learnt from. As the hatred between the humans and kaijin gets stronger, fights, protests, and riots burst out, letting evil and fear sweep through the country. From the trailer, it looks like we still have our brothers Kotaro Minami and Nobuhiko Akizuki kidnapped when they were very, very young to become cyborgs for that evil cult. Yeah, they are still here too. I can only guess that maybe Kotaro still escapes and Nobuhiko is left behind for the final brainwashing, but we shall see. Many years must have gone by, as we see who must be Nobuhiko in prison, now very hairy. And Kotaro may be left with the guilt of his brother and the weight of the responsibilities of his powers, now living in seclusion in a field somewhere. He is confronted by his past that he probably has been hiding away from when he meets a girl wanting peace and understanding for the kaijin. Probably because she is one too. Along with all this turmoil, his brother resurfaces. Gosh, this guy doesn't catch a break, does he? But looking back at the trailers, we see this shot of them training when they were slightly older and posing for photos with a flag and this infinity symbol with what I thought were the villains. Maybe they both grew up in this organization or cult with the others, becoming cyborg / kaijin as they are on the side of kaijin. But maybe our protagonist, seeing the experiments done on victims, decides to leave in retaliation, originally thinking he was on the side of good. This could get very complicated. But no confirmed plot yet, I am just theorizing from what I see in the trailer, and honestly the trailers make this show look very intense, but also very deep and beautiful. I see the protest scenes, and hear the dramatic music, and can tell that this will most definitely make me cry. This feels like it will be a great story with twists and turns, a lot of drama and action sequences. It's a brothers reuniting show, it's a learning to love yourself and others story, and the flipping suits look incredible. Well, the enemies look very old Toku villain, but I think I can let it slide for now. But ultimately, I will be watching this, and I think if you're old enough, you should too. Let's quickly go through the cast before ending this video. We have Hidetoshi Nishijima playing our Kotaro, Kamen Rider Black Sun, along with Tomoya Nakamura as the role of Nobuhiko, Kamen Rider Shadow Moon. Both of them are quite new to Kamen Rider or Toku roles. However, Hidetoshi recently played Kimio Tamura in Shin Ultraman, also in 2022. He's been a busy boy. I admittedly don't know a lot about Kamen Rider Black or its sequel Kamen Rider Black RX, but if you wanted me to look into it or even make a review on the upcoming reboot, Kamen Rider Black Sun, then please let me know down below. It would be interesting getting into a darker show like this with a lot more mature themes, so I am all for it. I hope you are as hyped as I am, and I'll chat to you next time. Kezza Henshin, matte ne!